Hello, hello. This is Susie. Welcome to Membership Momentum Series. Today's session is all about my membership launch, my membership growth lessons, actually. So for the last 26 years, I have a membership style business. It's called Her Business. It used to be called the Australian Business Women's Network, but having a membership is my favorite way to run a business because it means so much goodness as far as stable revenue, income coming in every month, and being able to work very closely with a select group of people. Joining me here today, we have three incredible Her Business Network members, all of whom have been running their memberships for a while now, and they're going to be taking us behind the scenes of what it's like to grow a membership inside of a business that likely has some other revenue streams and other aspects to it. I'm going to introduce them all in just a moment, but here's the opportunity for you. The opportunity is for you to get first-hand experience of what it's like, especially if you're thinking about introducing a recurring revenue stream to your business. The other opportunity for you, if you're watching here live, is that we are going to be opening up to your questions. So if you've got questions as you go along, you want to go ahead and pop those in the questions box, whether you're watching on Facebook, whether you're watching on YouTube, wherever you are, my team is going to be collating those questions and we'll get to them as soon as we can. So here's what I want you to know. I've got some slides here. I want to very quickly talk about our three panelists before I bring them on. This is the lovely Fiona Keary. I'm just going to make the slide bigger so you can see her. She helps women create wardrobes full of clothes, full of pieces that they absolutely love. And she does this through her courses, her one-on-one services, and also through her Superstylers membership. And Superstylers is for women 35 plus who've started their style journey and they want ongoing support to create a wardrobe full of clothes and outfits they love and to know how to make those fashion decisions as they need them. Our next panelist, who again I'll have on in just a moment, is joining us actually from the US of A. She's an Australian living in the United States. Her name is Belinda Weaver and her membership is called Confident Copywriting. Now, she helps people write copy that makes money, right? Because we know what it's like to write copy, put it out there in the world, and it's crickets. So she works specifically with copywriters inside of her membership, and these are aspiring and working copywriters or business owners who want to write their own copy. But her membership is for copywriters who want to have a successful business, right? You've started as a copywriter, you're trying to find clients, you're wondering how to promote yourself and how to go about the day-to-day of running a successful copywriting business so that you are never underbooked and that you are earning your worth. And she does this inside of her Confident Copywriting membership. Our third panelist is the lovely Amanda Farmer. Now, she is a lawyer who specializes in strata law, and she helps property owners to demystify the legal complexities of apartment living. And she does this by providing information, resources, and guidance inside of her membership, which is called Your Strata Property. You've seen their faces on the slide. You're going to meet them in just a second. But here's what we're going to be talking about today. We are going to be looking at this. Oops, here we go. We're going to be looking at how they're building their audiences so that when they do offer their membership, they're getting new members coming in and taking advantage of the opportunity that membership presents. We're going to look at what hesitations they had before they started their membership. We're going to look at the real impact on their businesses and their lives of having a membership, where it's difficult, where it's really easy, where it's helped them leverage, where it's helped them find more of their own purpose and their ideal business. We're going to look at how their thinking has changed as business owners as they've introduced this type of business model, but also as they're seeing it grow. What's changing in their thinking as business owners as their business starts to grow and change? We're going to look at some surprising discoveries they've had along the way, and would they do it again? We'll find out in today's session here. The other thing that we are going to be telling you about is this here. The Tribe program, or the Tribe experience as it's called, is led by my mentor, Stu McLaren. He's the world expert on creating a membership and recurring revenue in your business. He opens the doors to this program just once a year, and you can join now right up until Friday afternoon, Sydney time at 4:59 p.m. if you want to get on board. And this is a thorough program that all the women we're speaking to today have been part of. And so I'm going to give you some details later on, because as well as all the goodness that's inside of the Tribe program, we've created something pretty amazing that we're giving you when you join the Tribe program this year and join us for this particular journey and your transition into being a membership site owner, or if you have a membership site already, going ahead and growing that. So we've already got some love here for our speakers. We have a little starburst for Amanda from another Amanda. Jean saying, I have a course and I want to add an ongoing membership, but I feel totally blank. So Jean's getting in there already with the questions, which is great. So hold on to your hat, Jean. We'll come on back to you. All right, I'm juggling screens here. Here's what I want to do. I want to go to bringing our speakers on. So the gorgeous Fiona. Hello, Fiona.
Hello, Susie. How are you doing?
Hello. I'm doing great. This is Amanda.
Hello.
Hey, Amanda.
Hey,
and
everyone.
Belinda. Oh, have I got Belinda up? Hang on. It's saying, no, I don't want to remove Belinda. Belinda, why can't I get you up here? Let's go. I think you've frozen. We'll just give Belinda a second to join us. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to let her log back on. Here we go. There she is. Can you hear me, Belinda? Oh, goodness. It looks like Belinda's frozen. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to take her off the screen. We're going to keep going, and I'm going to ask my team if they can just get in touch with Belinda and just get her to come on back in. All right. Oh, okay. So we've got a message from Belinda. She just had to go and tell her husband, Simon, to stop singing so loudly. So I'm sure she'll be right back. Do we have a? All right. Let's see if she joins us in just a second. Hey, welcome, Fiona. Welcome, Amanda. So good to have you here.
Fabulous to be here. Thank you, Susie.
We'll welcome Belinda back in just a moment. I cannot wait to talk about your memberships because I'm so excited. I've been watching them grow over the last couple of years. Hey, Belinda, we got you back.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries. You got the singing sorted in the house?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Very, very good. Well, we want to hear all about your memberships, but here's what I know. I know that you've been growing these memberships for a little while, and I did give a little bit of an introduction to what your memberships were, but take us a little behind the scenes and what was going on in your business when you thought, what I really want to do is I want to have recurring revenue and I want a membership. Fiona, would you kick us off?
Yeah, sure. So we launched Super Stylers May last year, and it was something that had been sort of in the works for a couple of years, but I just couldn't work out what it would look like, or, you know, it was there, but I just couldn't put my finger on how we would translate that into like an ongoing recurring revenue model. And then, of course, COVID hit, and we found ourselves in the situation where we couldn't do face-to-face consultations. We'd luckily launched our latest style transformation online program, but once that was completed, there wasn't really any revenue in the foreseeable future in the pipeline. So it really made the need for a membership quite necessary and imminent. So within 4 weeks, we really worked very hard to pull it all together based on, you know, talking to our clients, talking to our style transformers and our previous clients of what they really wanted help with on an ongoing basis. So that's what kickstarted Super Stylers 12 months ago.
And so it's something sort of, you know, happening in the background, maybe, maybe not, but then COVID causing you to make that change. And I believe it's been a good change, right?
Oh, absolutely. Fantastic addition to our business model.
Great. And we'll talk a little more about your business model and all the different ways that you work with women. But first, let's hear from you, Amanda. What was going on in your business as a lawyer that had you think, okay, I'm going to try this other thing?
I started my membership 5 years ago, and I was at that time 3 years into a new legal practice that I had started. And when you're kind of 3 years in, things start falling into place. You're kind of understanding how to run a business. The bills are getting paid. The clients are there, feeling a little bit more comfortable. And so I thought I might try something different and start a podcast and see if I could reach more people and share some knowledge that way. I was loving the podcast that I was listening to. So I started the podcast and then got such a great great feedback from that. People loved it. I started to produce some content that I could sell on my website. So these were templates at that stage, bylaws that people could use in their buildings, people like that. And I thought, okay, well, what else can I add to this and then maybe package up as a membership? I was learning about memberships, watching what Stu was doing in other communities and thinking, I might just give this a go. And that was 5 years ago. And a lot of people ask me now, oh, Amanda, how did you come up with the plan and the strategy? And tell me what was the 10 steps that you took back then to get where you are now? And I just say, I didn't have a plan back then. I didn't have a strategy. I was just ready for something new. And I took this step-by-step process that then the people who were listening to the podcast or buying the templates would then tell me what they wanted that I could then add on. And then eventually the idea of the membership was born, and I'd put together something that I was already told was needed. So it was an iterative approach for me. I never had this idea of a membership with hundreds of people that I have today. It just grew slowly from there.
One thing that I know, because I both Amanda and Fiona, I work quite closely with. They're part of our mastermind program. Is that, Amanda, you're a very out of the box kind of lawyer. You're not doing the typical things. Most lawyers don't have a podcast. They certainly don't have a membership. But also there was something about exchanging your time for money that you wanted to move away from. Could you talk a little bit about that? Because I think a lot of people will relate.
Yeah, for sure. When I was a few years into business and I'd worked in another practice for 10 years before that, I'd watched what other lawyers were doing, what mentors of mine were doing, what older lawyers were doing. And I thought, is this sort of my future? Is this what we do? We charge billable hours. We sit at the computer. We bang out the work. We go to court. We sit with clients. And if I'm not there in my business doing that, then I can't bill, the money's not coming in. I had the option of either building a huge team of people with huge overheads, big office, lots of little lawyers running around that I had to supervise and worry about and correct their mistakes. And I tried that, and I just felt really it wasn't a good fit for me. It's not the way that I want to run a business and the way that I feel comfortable. So I did start looking at other options, and I was listening to Susie and Michelle's podcast, Content Sells, and I was in Her Business Network, and I was watching not lawyers at all. I'm not watching what other lawyers were doing, but what completely different businesses were doing, like Fiona's business and Belinda's business, and seeing how you can go one to many instead of one-on-one by using, first of all, content marketing, and then online business, and ultimately a membership to really leverage yourself and be free of that bum on the seat billable hour work.
I think that's so important, because so many, I know certainly we see every single day inside the Her Business Network, so many women are in that solopreneur type of business. Maybe they've got a team or they're building a team, but ultimately they find themselves exchanging their time for money. And it's really hard to grow and scale and not get burnt out over time unless you have something more than that. So thanks for that, Amanda. Belinda, what was going on? I know for those watching, as I mentioned, you're in the US, you have a young family, and you've help people with their copy for years. What was happening that you decided that you wanted to niche in to creating confident copywriting?
Well, I'd had, when I moved from Australia to the US, I had that friction of doing billable work for clients, most of whom were in a different time zone. In nap times around a newborn, because when we moved to the US, Faraday was 10 weeks old. So I had time zones, nap times, parenting, and so that's when I was like, I need to change the way I'm running my business. I need to change where my money's coming from. And that's when I created the Copywriting Masterclass, which was and still is my signature copywriting course. And I started running that twice a year, which of course gave me these spikes of income. But I was also, the course is really about writing. And when I was creating that course, I was thinking, well, I can either cut some writing material out and start talking about how to run a business, or I can make the course longer, or I can think about what happens after the course. And that's really where confident copywriting comes in. So I'm able to focus on the writing skills that copywriters need in the course. And then the membership, I should say, not the mastermind, that's coming. That's the follow-on where people are like, now I've got the writing skills, how do I run a business? But it was a few years in the making. So I launched my course in 2014, but I didn't launch my membership until 2018. And a big part of that was my own mindset to step into that role of mastery, ongoing coaching, and helping other people. I mean, it's been completely worth it. It's my most favorite way to spend my time. But it was a real journey. Like, how do I do this? How do I make it good? How do I make it worth paying for? And so that was really the transition. I wanted to help people after they'd done the course with ongoing support that I knew they needed, and they were telling me they needed.
That's so interesting, because we're seeing a lot of women decide that they're going to go and create online courses as a way to teach one-to-many. And then we do a great job of the course. People love it. And then we go, okay, thanks, bye. Right. And so what Belinda's created, and as we'll hear, what Fiona's created, is something for people to do now that they know, like, and trust you. It makes it kind of a no-brainer that they want to keep working with you. And so this creates a wonderful ongoing revenue, plus an ongoing opportunity for you, Belinda, to continue to see these women's businesses thrive, to see your clients really reach their potential.
Yes,
really,
absolutely. And it's so wonderful for me to be a consistent part of that journey. I don't need to provide all the advice, but it's so enriching to be able to go, we were there together at the beginning, and now your business has evolved through maybe another kid or a new niche, or you hit a new stage in the roadmap, and things are changing. And it's so great to see current and past members just flourishing in their own businesses.
Yeah, and I get to see that every day. You know, this is my 26th year running the business organization, and I have seen really women go through having no kids, to having kids, to having multiple kids, to, you know, putting kids through high school, but all along that way, building these incredible businesses. Talking about business models, we've heard that there's a course, and then there is the membership. Amanda, how does it look for you? Where does the membership fit into your business model?
Yeah, so the membership is really my entry level in my business model. I don't have a course that I then sell the membership off the back of. What I do is a lot of education, speaking events, and in the last 12 months, lots and lots of webinars. I have strategic alliances with groups like councils and other owner advocacy groups for people living in apartments. And I deliver education for them. And then my next step of the education is the membership, which is fabulous as a lawyer, because I see a lot of lawyers out there doing webinars and doing speaking sessions and doing great education. And then I don't know what they then do with all of the customers, I assume the clients that then come to them wanting to work with them, because I couldn't facilitate that kind of one-on-one without hugely increasing my overheads, getting more staff in, which, as I said, is not what I want to do. So I find it fabulous that I can go and do a 90-minute session and give my knowledge and all of those, get that wonderful feedback Belinda's talking about, where people are taking away what you're teaching, putting it into practice and saying how great it is, and then either asking for the next step or letting them know, hey, if you want to continue working with me, then I've got this membership and this is what it includes, and it is nowhere near my hourly rate or the tens of thousands of dollars you'd be paying a lawyer, but we can continue this relationship and it's this much per month. Here's your next step. And it sells itself. You know, people are saying, great, fabulous, didn't even think that you'd have something like that. Where do I get in? So that's where the membership sits for me.
I love that. And so very different to what Belinda's got the course, and then she's introducing membership. Amanda has very strategically found strategic alliances that she's working with. And so while her membership, she might open publicly a few times a year, throughout the year, she's got all these other opportunities where she's talking to her ideal client anyway. She's adding value. She's leveraging someone else's platform, and then gives those people an opportunity, which I believe you have a group right now where they have the unique opportunity to join you because you've just done a talk for them. Fiona, where does Super Stylers fit in Fiona's world?
So again, it's quite similar to Belinda. So working one-to-one with clients, we do that. And then we also have our online program. So for us, what we generally do is we open twice a year after each style transformation round. So people who have been through the style transformation program with us, again, it's really helping them to keep implementing all the tools that they have gathered and have all the tips that they've learnt during that program, and then to help them continue to implement that in their wardrobe. And then also we do that for our one-to-one clients as well. So we do invite them separately. If they've worked one-to-one with us, we can invite them in separately throughout the year.
Very, very good. I'm just going on to share this comment. This is Karina. Excited beyond my wildest dreams. I've designed my business to be membership only, but as I couldn't grow it, I ended up opening one-off sales, which is not what I really want to do. So this is like, OMG, I can't wait to get back on track. Yeah, great, Karina. This is why we're sharing these stories today, because it's not always easy when you start, as we'll see, but when you stay with it and you really find your sweet spot, who your ideal clients are, what the membership model is for you, what you're delivering so that it's not burning you out and it's not overtaxing you, but that it really helps you thrive, it creates a really, really ideal business.
Susie, can I just add something to the idea of a course going into the membership? What I've found actually is people are joining my membership now and then discovering the course. So the course and the membership is not necessarily a one-way path for me. I've now discovered it's creating a nice loop between the two things, which are working so well together. So it's not like this linear roadmap that's set in stone.
Love it. Love it. Love it. S is saying, before creating the membership, I'm actually doing a membership launch. Scary, but exciting too. Yes, very exciting. And Leah's saying, I'm ready to start the membership. I've been waiting too long. Great, Leah. So for Leah, and for those of you who are waiting to start your membership, here's what I want you to do. I want you to go on over to herbusinesstribe.com. It's going to take you to a page. You'll see Stu McLaren's face and you'll see all the details for the Tribe experience, which is open right now. The doors are closing on Friday night. He only does this once a year. And there's going to be thousands of people. Trust me, there's already thousands of people who will join, and across all sorts of industries and niches. People with absolutely no followers on social media, no email list, no actual presence, but with some really great authority and experience in something that somebody else needs. Because our membership is a way for us to help people solve a problem. So whether it's Fiona helping solve the problem of I've got a wardrobe full of clothes and I hate them all, or whether it's I'm living in an apartment and the neighbors are driving me crazy and I don't know how to enforce the rules that we have here, or whether it's I'm a copywriter and I'm just struggling, I feel like I'm isolated. There are so many niches and so many ways to make a membership work in your business. And remember, a membership is kind of a broad term. This is about how do I get people to buy from me time and time again. And so there are just so many niches, and you'll really love the program because you'll get to see this in action. A little later, I'll tell you about a bonus that we have for those of you who do join this week using the herbusinesstribe.com URL that I've got here. All righty, let me see. We've got a couple more comments here. Nope, I think we are good. So we've already indicated Belinda's in the US. You're in Canberra, Fiona. You're in Sydney, Amanda. But you're working with clients all over, Fiona and Belinda, I know for sure. I don't know about you, Amanda. But so what is it like, or what does it do for your thinking to know that you're working with people beyond where you used to even be able to do it, working one-on-one? Fiona?
So I know it sounds really weird, but like, honestly, mind-blowing in terms of, when I started this business, Style Liberation, it was just me, one-to-one. So it was whoever was in my location, so to think that like in the last round, we have people now who are in the UK, New Zealand, it's really exciting that I don't just have to be limited to where I live. We have people from all over Australia. And what's really fabulous for us is that we actually get to work with a lot of women in regional areas who don't necessarily have access to styling services because of their location. And so for us, we have quite a big regional market, which is absolutely fabulous. So, and it's great. And we love as well, I guess, in our community that, people find out where each other are and, they get together and, they, become friends. It's a beautiful, warm community.
I love that. And when I first started in this business, we were an offline business. We were a membership, but more like an association. And so we used to run events in Sydney, Melbourne, and sometimes Brisbane. But now having an online membership, here you are all over the country, but we do have women in small towns, in rural areas, in regional areas, and increasingly the world. And that's what a membership allows you to do. And I think as business owners, just having that expansive thinking just allows us to be more expansive as business owners. Now, Belinda, you're on the other side of the world, but you're working with people back here in Australia still.
Yes, absolutely. I would say my membership is split between Aussies, Americans, and Brits. And then I've got a sprinkling of members, like I've got a member in the Ukraine, and I got a member in Singapore, and I got a member in Africa, which is amazing. And I mean, the challenge, of course, is organizing calls so that at least most people can attend. But what I love as well is it's not just me speaking from my Australian experience and my American experience, but we can talk about the localization of the techniques and the tips and the situations and the clients. And there's lots of people who can speak to that location.
And the good thing is that while for some of us, we can and want a global audience, Amanda, your audience is very niche, and that's just perfect, right?
And this was actually an unexpected win for me. The laws that govern our apartment buildings are actually different in our different states in Australia. And I am a specialist in New South Wales. And so my mindset was always, well, I'm a lawyer in New South Wales. I know that law. That's my market. That's where I'm going to focus. But much to my surprise, I have members from Queensland, from Victoria, from Western Australia. I have prospective members who contact me and say, oh, is this suitable for me? I'm in Western Australia. And I say, absolutely. We've got heaps of members in Western Australia. Why? Because the kind of things we're talking about in the membership is about everyday communication. And how do you write that letter to your strata manager that's going to get your proposal across the line? And what does it take to have a good strata committee? And it's not legal stuff that I might be doing in my legal practice and worried about quoting the right section of the act. It's common sense stuff. It's things that come from experience, and the members on the inside are sharing what they've used in their community, which is just as applicable in other states. So I'd be one of the few strata lawyers practicing with New South Wales qualifications that's getting money from the other states as well. And I think that's pretty cool.
I'm also you said getting money.
Getting money, babe. I'm also conscious I'm sitting in the dark, so I'm just going to fix my lights while I just...
Okay, no worries. While you're doing that, the model that certainly the women that you're seeing here today have for their membership is that you can't just join it at any time. It's usually closed to the general public while we're taking care of our members, and it's the same model that we have at Her Business. And then a few times a year, or for special occasions, they'll open the doors and they'll bring in new members and then go about onboarding them. But where do these people come from? Where do we find people to join our membership? Now, I talked earlier about the Tribe program, and we are getting right behind the Tribe program this week. It's about a $2,000 investment. So you'd need to get, in Aussie kind of dollars, about 30 people paying you about $30 a month, and to be able to pay off your course over the next few months, right? Now, you might think, well, I don't even know 30 people who might want what I have, but how can I actually build this so that it's a substantial part of my revenue? So here's one of the things that I want you to know, and all three of the women you're seeing here today are such great examples of this, is that we always want to be thinking about, how do I get people to know, like, and trust me, and warm up my audience, or warm up my subscribers, or warm up the people who visit my website, or warm up the people who follow me on social media or on my email list, in order for that, when I do say, hey, I'm offering this now, they are kind of ready to go. And so talk to us a little bit, Fiona, about what are you doing out there in the world to make people sort of, when you do open Superstylers, you do have these great big intakes of new members?
So Superstylers for us are slightly different to Belinda, where we generally open up Superstylers to people who have already worked with us. And the reason being is because they need to have a certain level, like they need to at least know their colour palette in order to make the most of the membership. Saying that, we do often get people who they see the Superstylers and then they actually go and do like a virtual colour or a face-to-face colour so that they can actually make the most of the membership there as well. But generally, they're people that have worked with us or worked with somebody else and have then joined the membership through that way.
Right. And so they're out there in the world, though. What are you doing to stay in relationship with them?
Yeah. So look, we've got a few different avenues. We have some lead magnets that we use. We've got two main lead magnets, our 35 plus where to shop retail guide, and then also our style personality quiz, which then invites them to join our 35 plus where to shop Facebook group. So we have over 4,000 women in that Facebook group. So that tends to be a place where Christy and I hang out and we nurture our women in there and we build a community in there. And that's in addition to our email list as well. So we're always staying in weekly contact with our women. And then when we do open up twice a year, they've already had that relationship with us. They've seen other people interact with us. They've heard stories from other members or other style transformers. So they've already known us for a while during that period.
Love it. And what about you, Belinda?
I'm doing all the things, Susie. All the things.
Tell us about all the things.
I've been a content marketer for many years. That was been my main form of marketing. But I think a shift that I've made in the last couple of years, I say couple of years, I started the podcast in 2015, Hot Copy Podcast. And I think podcasting and doing video work, as in doing lives and doing education via the video platforms that we have, that's where I've gone from people reading my content and trusting me to hearing my voice and seeing me and getting the knowing and liking. That's where I feel it really comes together, because it's much more intimate when you can hear me and see me. And to be honest, when I do, say, training in my free Facebook group, or I'm doing a little YouTube video, I've learned to just relax, because I've learned that the more I show of myself and my sense of humor and try not to have everything perfect, the much stronger connection I have with people. So right now, like Fiona, I like to have a quiz. I have a daily email and I have a blog, but I've just recently started a free Facebook group where I'm doing regular training and just helping people as much as possible. And that's where I'm seeing people going from, oh yeah, I've read your stuff for a little while, to I like you. I think you're the kind of person that I want to invest more in, to invest in myself. So I think the podcast and the video work through the free Facebook group is really where I'm making connections. And of course, with all of it, I'm surprised that people are surprised that I answer emails and I answer questions, DMs, and I give generously. And that's just part of the way I operate. But that's where the connection really comes from as well, where someone goes, wow, you really helped me just now. Right. Imagine what happens in your group if I have access to you all the time. And so I'm more than happy to help people as much as possible.
Very, very good. How are people getting to know you, Amanda?
Oh, well, +1 to Belinda on the podcast and the video. I was clicking earlier, which is a mastermind thing, as Fiona will know. And Susie, I wasn't saying, give me the money, baby. I was clicking my fingers as a +1, so you know. The podcast is my main lead source. So I put energy into that for the last 6 years, and that it will stay. And it is an excellent avenue, as Belinda says, to get people to feel familiar with you and to trust you. Video as well. I do a Friday happy hour, I call it, a Facebook Live each fortnightly Friday for my group. And that's actually not a group. Just I can see some questions in the chat here about Facebook groups. I have a page. I have a business page. I don't have a group because the group is part of my membership. I don't do that through Facebook. But I have a very active page, and we do Friday Live, and everyone brings a little drink and we chat about the week in Strata. That's great. I go to events in person now and people say, Amanda, I've been enjoying so much your Friday Live. Making sure there's always a fresh audience is really important for me because I'm so niche. When I first launched my membership, I had some great sales because I had a big list and this was really new and people needed it and they were excited to join. And I've noticed the last 12 months that I've really had to refresh my list to still get those same numbers coming into the membership. So just earlier this year, I have invested some money and some time in having some professional case studies written up, and they have been wonderfully done by Amanda Paris, who is her business member, and she was here earlier. I'm not sure if she's still here.
She a graduate of your program, Belinda?
Yes, she is.
Ah, there you go.
Copywriter. And
Yeah.
I too am getting Amanda to write some quotes for me.
Well, she is the case study queen. So get Amanda on. She's just delivered my case studies and talking to members and getting in their words what it is that they're loving about the membership. So you can then be sharing that back in between your launches, whether you're doing that on Facebook. I do a lot on LinkedIn, just sharing their stories at events that I'm talking at. And that's great for encouraging people to get on your wait list if you have a wait list for your membership. But also reinforcing when you've been doing this for quite a few years and you kind of feel like it's the same old, getting members that come back and say, Amanda, if it wasn't for you, I'd be curled up in a ball on the floor. And you're the reason that I don't have depression anymore when I'm living in my strata. And it's emotional and it makes you go, damn right. Yeah, I am doing this and I am keeping on even on the bad days. It's wonderful for that as well. And then sharing that back is excellent for getting people excited about what they can achieve in your membership.
I love it. Thank you. And Amanda is watching and giving us all lots of hearts. There we go. Very, very good. So we're going to, in a moment, I'm going to be asking our panelists here about the bottom line benefits to their business of introducing a membership 1, 2, 3 years ago. But before we do that, what I wanted to talk about was what have you learned about yourself? And what is an ideal business for you as a result of having the membership? So what have you learned about yourself and what is an ideal business for you out of having a membership? Fiona.
Oh, this is actually a tricky question. Yeah, Belinda's going, yeah, great. Fiona gets to go first.
Should we go to Belinda? Should we go to Belinda
I can jump in. I can jump in.
Okay, what have you learned about yourself, Amanda?
I have learned that I need a business where I have absolute freedom and I can get up in the morning and run it my way. I need a business that I can continue to evolve. And this concept, when I was talking earlier about a few years into business, sat down, watched what these lawyers do and realized that they are doing the same thing every day for the rest of their lives and feeling claustrophobic with that idea. A business that I can if I decide I want to build a new mountain, as we say at her business, then I can build that mountain and I can understand where it fits in my mountain range. And I have the knowledge and the strategy and the experience to be able to make that work. A business where I don't have to be there every day and I can still be having the money come in and being able to pay the bills. A business that stands out. I really love being different. I love doing something that's different. I love being, she's the lawyer that has the membership. She's the lawyer that was on TV the other day. I love all of that. And it is, I understand that it's okay to love that because it means that I am able to serve more people and reach more people. And that's something that I have become more comfortable with the last 12 months as I do get out there more. That's okay to toot your own horn because it means that you can be helping more people. And to have a business where you can leverage yourself to that extent that you're helping that many people is really exciting.
I love the conviction with which you talk about and know yourself and know your business and know, one, the worth that you are sharing, the value that you're bringing to your people, but also why you're doing what you're doing. Because it's sometimes you can hear, maybe I'll try that. Maybe I'll start an online course. Maybe I'll start a membership. But when you're really clear why you're doing it and the role that it's playing in your own development, in your ability to impact people, then you hear something like what you just heard with Amanda. Fiona?
Yep, no, I've got it now. Thanks, Amanda.
Okay,
Plus one
right,
thing that Amanda has said, because for me, I really value the flexibility. And that was one of the big things that I sort of saw with growing and leveraging this business. Again, it was me having to be face-to-face all the time, and that's not always possible at all. Life happens, and it was very much trading time for money. But the thing I think I've learned most about myself is that I do have the ability to build a business and scale. And I think I doubted that a lot before I started the membership. And I never really backed myself enough. And I was playing very safe, very, very safe. Whereas now I feel like I've built the membership and it's building momentum, that I have felt really comfortable and confident to reinvest in my business and really grow and scale it by adding new team members, by investing more in the infrastructure of my business, the marketing, and excited about playing a bigger game. Really, really excited about that. And yes, while it's still scary for me and I still have that fear, there's more excitement about that now. And that's what I've learned.
That's very, very exciting to hear. And if you've just joined us, we're talking about what these business owners have learned about themselves since introducing a membership to their business. And they've been preparing for this moment, if you like, but they're now seeing the momentum of having a membership inside of their business. Belinda, now you were ready to rock with this question as soon as I asked it, I think, but tell us what you've learned about yourself, because I know that it's been really profound for you.
Yes, basically what Fiona said. The journey for me has been quite similar, and it's been really a journey of stepping into what's possible for myself. That's what I've learned, because when I started the membership, it's all about the stuff. Like, how can I just offer stuff that people will pay for? The longer my membership goes on, the more I'm stepping into the idea that I'm actually creating a space that is different to the other spaces around, which is something I was very anxious about for a long time. Like, I'm not the only group. I'm not the only copywriting group. How will I stand out? Why would people choose me? It's all in really important mindset stuff that you need to work through. And now I'm at a point where I'm going, I do have something to offer. I'm actually creating a space that people love to be in, that get value from. And when I've been doing these kind of Ask a Member sessions for the last couple of days for my own launch, hearing words like community, safe space, kindness, support, fun, the stuff's great, but I stay for the community. That has helped so much. And like you were saying, Fiona, I have learned that I am capable of playing a bigger game. I'm capable of taking this idea, not just bigger in terms of numbers, because I've also let go of that, but bigger in terms of impact. And that's what I'm really leaning into. And it feels really good to have something that is making a real difference in people's lives, like you said, Amanda. And I can't quite believe it sometimes when people say, I am here now because of you. I'm like, wow, I'm actually doing important work. And that's amazing for me.
You are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. And you all are. And when we have a membership, we have the evidence of the work we're doing is so much more right there for us to see, because we're working so closely. Whether it's 100 people or 1,000 people, it's still a group of people who are like-minded, who are all along the same path, whether it's their path to better health or a better looking wardrobe or a better experience of living with other people or a better business. We have people who are like-minded, who are there for the community, who are there to support each other. The other thing I want to say on that was that for me, one of the things I do every single day is we have a members Facebook group, like a lot of people who have a membership do, and I will always scroll through. And every single day I'm taking screenshots like the ones you mentioned, Belinda, of people having these amazing experiences because they're part of something that I'm creating, that my team and I are nurturing and fostering. And that is just so, so rewarding, more rewarding than anything else. I've done events with 6,500 people. I've produced events in Madison Square Garden, but it was just these people, but not that same connection, not that same ability that you get in a membership to see that transformation happen as time goes on. Now, I don't regret anything that I've done in my career. It's all contributed to who I am and what I do. But why I love the membership is because you get to see that transformation up close. All righty. Now, you've all got numbers of people in your membership. You've got growing membership. It's all going really, really great. When you started, like how was that first time when you went, gulp, I'm starting a membership, I'm going to put it out there to the world? What happened, Amanda?
I opened up my membership and invited some founding members. I had 12 members when I first started. I remember saying to my mum after an event that I did when I was publicly opening the membership, I want 100. Mum, I want 100 members and this is how much they're going to pay and this is how much money I'm going to have. And I had 12 and I went, oh, okay. That's not quite what I expected. However, it was a start. And those members, many of them are still members, were able to test what I was putting out there, to give me feedback on what they liked, what they didn't like, what we could change. And then I was able to use that with my next launch, and also go to my mentors and my friends inside of her business and say, oh, guys, I think I actually need some help with this, and I need some strategy around this, and I need to understand what planning I need to do, how I can set myself up better for success, But the fact that I did it and got started, I wouldn't be here today, would I, if I didn't do that?
No. And now, it's grown and grown and grown. And every time you open the doors, more people come in than have, left. And so it keeps growing. And so that cash flow every month gets better and better. And so I know for some of you, you may have been watching Stu's Tribe Workshop and you've heard stories about people who went from $0 to $1 million, or they've got 1,000 members, or they just got 300 more members. And that is not the reality in most businesses. It's not the reality in my business. And I've had a membership forever. But it's about that constant and never ending improvement of what you deliver, of retaining the people that you get. And that's why I mentioned, if you join the Tribe course, if you get 30 people paying you $30 a month, you've paid off the course. The rest of that is all, you're going to keep growing and growing and growing. And inside of her business, as Amanda mentioned, there's lots of other business owners who are growing memberships. Now, someone asked the question earlier, are all the people who do Tribe through the Her Business members? No. So we have the Her Business Network, and a bunch of you here watching, and you're going to join the Tribe program. But even if you're not a member and you're joining, maybe you're part of our free group. When you join, we have a cohort that is women who have done Tribe through the Her Business link. So we're an affiliate for the program, who we offer ongoing support for through a group and some other things that I'll mention a little later on. All right. Now, what happened when you opened the doors, Belinda?
Well, I'd done Tribe because I'm the kind of person where I like to know everything before I do it. So Tribe was awesome for that. It just gave me a complete blueprint for launching. But what I did is, and I look back and laugh at this, is I only made the membership available to the people who were currently doing my course. Like, I kept it really small. So I had 12 people as well, which considering how many people were in the course at that time, that's a great conversion rate. And then I thought, for the next launch, I wonder if I should tell more people. And so I made it available to all the people who did the course. And I had a very big jump in numbers. Like, it went to, I think it was 42. And then I thought, I wonder if I should tell more people. And so part of this is the mindset work that I've been doing.
Your confidence is growing.
Yeah, I was just worried it wouldn't work. So I didn't tell many people. And the bigger the launches have become, in terms of the more I'm willing to amplify my message, the more results I'm getting. But for me, the growth has been very, I'm not going to say slow, but consistent growth over time. And I'm okay with that, because with each 6-month period, I've learned more about what my members want. I've learned more about building a community, which I knew nothing. I didn't really anticipate what a strong skill that is in creating a great space for people. And then I'm also learning more about marketing and membership and team building, and each of that, it's been nice to have this consistent growth that's helped me catch up with what the group can be.
I love it. And it's really those $0 to $1 million stories. They're sexy, but they're just not the reality, not for most women. But growing a 6- and 7-figure business is totally possible when you have the right support, you have the right guidance, you have the right templates, you have the right tools, you have the right people to reach out to, and you're willing to just stay committed to what your vision is for that membership. A little later on, all our panelists are going to tell us what's coming up in their membership when they're next opening the doors, and we're going to be giving you all the links to all the things that you can do to follow up and stay in touch, because there's some amazing resources available to you. Now, Fiona, you had a strong start to your membership. Tell us about that.
And look, I think part of it was because we had, we've been working with clients, for 10 years. So for us, our membership is also a way of like nurturing those client relationships, and we didn't really have anything to offer them ongoing. And so for us, we launched at the end of the style transformation program, and we had about 50% of them come across to super stylers, and then the remaining were from our client database. So we actually kicked off our membership with 100 members, which we were blown away with, absolutely blown away. But I do put that down to staying in regular contact and providing really great content to our current clients as a way of staying in touch and nurturing that relationship with them, so that when we did offer super stylers, it was a way of deepening and building more of that connection.
Very, very good. So I asked our panelists earlier if they had a question that they wanted to ask one of the other panelists, and we're going to go to that in just a moment. But just before we do that, I do want to let you know, once again, that the Tribe Workshop is now open. And so all you need to do is head on over to herbusinesstribe.com to get access to that. Now, as well as all the goodness that Stu builds into his program, and just so you know, it's a multi-part program delivered online. He is live basically for over a month, every single day, answering questions. And as I said, there'll be thousands of people going through the program. It is excellent. I'm going through it for the 4th or 5th time this year because it's that good. And I actually love the man so much. I'm actually part of his high-level mastermind program. So I get access every single day to the types of questions that people are asking about memberships. And here's what's in it for you because of that, is that as part of this year's herbusinesstribe.com membership, when you join the Her Business Tribe, we have got, a special bonus just for you because you're joining through Her Business Tribe. So what we've put together is we've put together a special Facebook group. Now you might think, well, what's very special about that? So the Tribe group is going to have thousands and thousands of people on it. The Her Business Tribe group will not. It'll be a more localized, more intimate group where you can ask questions and get answers that pertain to your particular membership. I want to give you a couple of examples. This is Fiona Roberts. She's one of our members. She has a crochet membership. I'm going to give you some examples of different types of memberships. And so for her, she said being part of a small group who really got to know her business was so helpful for her launching her membership. And like the other members here today, it's been growing slowly. Fiona's doing this while holding a full-time job. But on the side, she knows that her vision is to create a full-time business out of the Hooked on Crochet Club, which is the best name. And so for her, being part of our group has been really instrumental in her growth. This is the lovely Belinda we're seeing here who says, I agree. She said the smaller group has been good to get more a perspective from people who know you and know you more intimately, but also because it's not a US perspective. Not that there's anything wrong with the US perspective. This is Christy Lee Billet. Now, her membership helps business owners who have a team navigate the ins and outs of hiring and firing and everything in between. Her membership is called Your People Powered Business. And she said, similarly for her, having mentors and peers, because both I and my partner PJ, who is our head mentor and is also a Tribe graduate, are in there supporting these business owners as they go to launch, as they're thinking about how to market. Do I have a closed group or an open group? Do I use Facebook or another platform? Where do I put my content? All those questions are being answered. The other thing we're including is 3 interactive coaching workshops. So once you've been through the Tribe course and then you go, okay, I've done that. Now what? That support's gone away. What you have is 3 months of support with monthly workshops, and they're interactive, which means that you're going to get some things to do. You're going to come back. You're going to check in with us. You're going to be able to ask questions and get answers. And this example here is Nadine Shaw, another one of our members. Now, she's got a very small membership. I think when she launched her membership, she got 7 members. And you think, well, is that worth doing it for? Yes, it is, because she's now building this membership, which is called Create Health and Lifestyle. And she said, was it not for the support that I got through her business, I probably would never have even started because it gave her confidence. So one more thing that we're including, and this is all included when you go to herbusinesstribe.com, is a membership plan review. So whether you need your sales page reviewed or the emails that you're going to be writing or the images that you're going to be using, you have support from us to do that. Now, that is, again, only available when you join, they're super stylists, when you join using herbusinesstribe.com. We are going to come back to our panelists now. Let me see if I can sort myself out here. Where am I coming? I'm coming here. No, I don't want that one. I want this one. There we go. All righty. So let's ask a panelist to ask another panelist a question. Amanda, off you go. Who have you got a question for?
I do. I have a question for Fiona. And this question has popped up in my mind because I saw a similar comment in the comments here about making that shift from the one-to-one work to the membership, the online and the one-to-many. It's something that I have had to balance in my business, still doing some of that one-to-one work and also being present in the membership and growing the membership. And I know you're doing that too with your one-on-one consultations and your membership. So how do you balance that? Is there a certain proportion of your business that's still in the one-to-one? And what's your plan, if any, for changing that or shifting?
Thanks. That's a really good question. So my aim last year was to have 30% revenue from our online offerings, either the membership, between the membership and also our online program. And due to COVID, that really shifted. So we ended up with 60% revenue from our online program. And once we realized, and membership. So once we realized that very much we could generate, and we were able to generate, we increased our revenue on previous years as well. So once we knew that we could generate that sort of revenue from our online programs, I very much looked at my availability and my team's availability in terms of doing one-to-one consults, and we only offer a certain amount every week or month in terms of our one-to-one consults. We also increase the price of our one-to-ones as well to reflect that. So again, for those of people who want to look for maybe a more cost-effective option, they often will join our online program and then into our membership rather than paying for a one-to-one service. So we've really sort of looked at our business model and said, yes, we still very much need to offer that one-to-one service for those clients who are more high touch, but also for us to keep that, I guess, those skills up in terms of analysing people, body shape architecture, being in front of people and really hearing face-to-face from our clients, as well as, you know, shopping. We need to be doing that on a regular basis.
Right.
So that what we offer in our membership and in the online stuff isn't just theory, it's actually, you know, real skills and things like that. So we're quite conscious of that. So we have broken it up in a similar percentage. We're trying to keep it sort of 60-40 at this stage.
Awesome.
Very, very good. Thank you. I just have to share this comment because it's good. These women are on fire. I'm loving this. Great. And Penny said, this talk has been so inspiring. I've had so many ideas to the point I feel overstimulated. Gosh, I love this support network. Great. Well, hopefully it's not too overstimulating. We are giving you all that we can in the time that we have available. So if it feels like a bit of a fire for hose, hang in there, hang in there. So, Fiona, did you have a question for one of the other panelists?
I do. I have one for Belinda. And I know one of the barriers to starting a membership for me was thinking about the amount of content that we would need to create. And I know Stu in Tribe gives us so many great examples of content. I guess the question for you is around, you know, what is your content strategy and how do you manage it? And have you found that it's changed over the course of your membership? Have you tweaked it or changed it up?
Great question.
Yeah, so when in Tribe, Stu talks about batching your content so that you're not on the treadmill of creating stuff every month. I love the theory of it, but I got 2 young kids and I'm doing courses and the membership. And so it's theory for me. So, but what that allows me to do is really listen to what my members want and need and adjust my content plan. So for me, I chose some things that I would regularly offer, and it, you know, a group coaching call, and I have basically a basket of things: expert interviews, templates, guides, resources, and I kind of pick. Some months I have a theme, some months I don't. But what I do is I kind of have a content plan where I say, I know what I'm going to be talking about for the next 6 months. But if something comes up and I'm like, wow, everyone's talking about retainer agreements. So I think we need to talk about that now. And so an example is a lot of my confident copywriters need a VA. and they're not ready for a VA in their head, but they need a VA. And so I've actually taken that from something I was going to do later in the year and moved it up my content calendar. So I'm very flexible in that kind of how I put it together, which works for me in creation mode, but I can obviously sell it as a bit of a benefit. But what it means is I'm not trying to do all the things. I'm really listening to what they need. And the other thing I do with my content is I like to pull from members. Like when members are doing wonderful things, I'm like, hey, can you come and talk about that on our next coaching call? Which is awesome for members in terms of the practice they're getting doing things like this. But they feel more confident in themselves, and other members get to see, oh, well, I'm not just looking at an expert in the industry. That's Myrna, and I know her. So I really like to pull from all different quarters and keep it flexible so that I can respond to what people are needing.
I love that. I love that. We have a plan and we have certain themes throughout the year, but like you, Belinda, sometimes it'll be like, oh, this is an opportunity because I'm hearing this again and again, and it feels like the right thing to inject. But I love the idea of having all the batch content created in. Well, actually, next week we have a masterclass coming up, and I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to have a go at batch creating a whole lot of content. So I'll let you know how I go. The other thing I wanted to say is if you do not subscribe to Belinda's newsletter, please subscribe. Whether you're interested in copywriting or not, and as a business owner, you ought to be, in my opinion. But also it's one of the few newsletters that I actually read almost to the very, very bottom because it's just really, really good, really well laid out. Even if you're looking at it for market research, Belinda, I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it.
Awesome.
So
thank you very much.
You're very, very welcome. Now, who's got a question?
I got a question for, and I got a question for Amanda. Yeah. So you obviously have a really niche topic, and I know some people watching will either have the challenge of there's so many memberships around what I do, but they'll also have, the other group will have the challenge of, is there even enough people for this? So what I would love to know is how do you, like you clearly have enough clients to serve, but how do you reconcile the idea of growing that membership in this niche area?
Yeah. Look, I think that even in a small, you might think that there's it's a niche and it's a small audience. It's not necessarily a small audience. So my content is niche and quite intricate, if you like, because it's strata law in New South Wales, people living in apartments, but the audience is broad and growing. You only have to look out the window at the skyline to see that.
Right.
So just think about that. It might be a niche topic, and you might think crocheting is a niche topic, like we saw with Fiona, but she has this huge audience because there's all these crochet fans out there coming out of the woodwork. I think that even on the converse, if you have, as you said, Belinda, a broad topic, and there's heaps of memberships about that, I think you had the answer to this earlier where you said, I'm injecting my personality and becoming confident with being who I am. And guess what? When you do that, no one can copy you. And you are what differentiates the membership. So I think as women in particular, when we often shy away from bringing ourselves to the fore and getting on the video and showing that personality, if you think of it as a strategic business decision because you want to be different and stand out, then you absolutely have to do that. And even if you have the small audience, you don't need a lot to be successful. Something that I noted down earlier when we were talking about numbers and growing memberships is how important retention is. And Stu, I think in Tribe has a whole module on retention, which I really watched very, very closely. Because if you get that right, it is just as easy to keep a member and much harder to replace them. So, I mean, you're getting the same, your dollar is the same bottom line by keeping that member than it is by replacing them. And there's a lot more effort in replacing them. So retention is something that we really focus on within my team, and we have the spreadsheet, and we're very interested in if people cancel, why they cancel. And that hard work is paying off because we are growing, but similar to you, Belinda, we are growing at a consistent rate. And because we're keeping that retention, the bottom line is still looking really good, which I think a lot of membership owners forget, and they do these huge launches and then have these huge drop-offs. So even with a small group, if you get your attention right, you're going to be on the right track.
I love what you're saying there. Retention is something we are really, really good at, and it's something we pay attention to. So we actually have a 3 sort of part strategy. We have attract. How do we attract more people into our world so that they're ready for membership? Then we obviously have a conversion activity when we're actually saying you can now buy a membership, but then we put a lot of focus, and because we can have such a leaky bucket if we're not doing what Amanda said, is that we have all these people. We might be a great salesperson and we can, we've got the gift of the gab and we can get them in, but if we're not keeping them, then we're really not going to be growing, right? We're going to keep going, 1 in, 2 out, 2 in, 1 out. And so if you're good with relationships, membership is great for you, because it is about creating those relationships and having reasons for people to stick to your membership. And that's something you learn along the way. And like you said, inside the Tribe course, there is a module exactly on that. There was something else that you said that I wanted to pick up on. Oh, and that was about, we listened to Amanda, and Amanda is so confident in what she's doing. And for a lot of us, it's like, I don't know about being the front person. I'm okay working one-on-one, but working one-to-many, that sounds like a lot. Here's the thing I want you to know, even for you introverts, is that a membership is a great business model for an introvert. It's great for an extrovert because you can be out as much as you want, but also it's a community. There's other people. You definitely want to show up for your people. I'm not saying you're not going to show up, but it's just about you being you, which is what Amanda says. It's just about you injecting more of you into it. And structuring the membership so that you're leveraged in the areas that you're not strong in, that you're delivering things that, you might be bringing in member experts or different panelists, etc., to allow you to operate at your very best. All right, couple of questions or comments here. Great. Christy Lee sharing your website there. Someone asked, how do I get Belinda's newsletter? Go ahead and go to her website. Penelope saying, Amanda, is that there? Oh, okay. That's obviously a follow-up to something else. Impressive. We're getting comments saying impressive. Don't know who that is. And Natasha loved this comment, which I think, Amanda, you made, which is the more I'm willing to amplify my message. Oh, it was Belinda.
Oh,
okay.
Belinda, sorry.
Everyone point at someone.
You can
Someone
have it, though.
that.
It's a good comment.
And Marty says, I like that you don't need too many to be successful. Yeah, no, you don't. You don't, actually. Because if you think about what your monthly income is now and what it could be if you added another revenue stream that was recurring. Yeah, Amanda.
I need to say something really important on that point. The thing to remember about memberships and online business generally is that you can grow online and increase your revenue, but not increase your expenses. Okay, which then means that your bottom line, your profit, is growing much faster. So I see this very clearly in my legal practice. If I was going to increase my revenue the way that at the rate that it is increasing in my online business, I would need more people, I would need more office space, I would need my insurance would go up, everything, all my expenses would go up, which would leave me in exactly the same place, which is a bit silly. My online business, since I started my membership, my revenue has doubled every year. And it is at a really significant place now where if I didn't want to do my one-to-one legal work anymore, I don't have to. But like Fiona, I do it. I want to keep my hand in. I put my rates up. That's a different part of my business. But that revenue growth has not had the same increase in expenses. So my profit is looking great. And it's wonderful when you can sit down with your accountant and say, what are we going to do about this? That is the beauty of online business. So just that small membership works really well because you don't have the expenses that you have in a bricks and mortar business.
I love it. All righty. So I'm just going to have a look at what questions we have here. Okay. So I think one of my team members is watching. I just want to make sure I've got all the questions. And so I will go ahead and start with this one, which we had right at the beginning. And hopefully you don't blank anymore, but maybe we can give Jean a tip. She said, I have a course. I want to add an ongoing membership, but I feel totally blank. And that's not a fill in the blanks question. She feels blank. And would anyone like to say anything or recommend anything? Fiona.
I mean, that was totally me in terms of this time last year, you know, I wanted a membership. I just couldn't work out what that looked like. There's nothing like giving yourself a deadline to work that out, but also reaching out to your community already, especially if you already have an online course. We actually did a poll in that course and said, what do you still need help with? And we actually run that at the end of every style transformation now. And really what we offer in the program is exactly what they still need help with at the end of the program. That's how we actually built the membership. So the things that we know people still wanted help with was, okay, I know my colors, I know my body architecture, I know my style personality, so I've got my style profile. I want help finding those pieces. So therefore your style file was born. So all of those sort of things, we created elements in the membership that answered exactly what they still needed help with. That's really how it came together.
Love it. And yeah, and Jean, I think someone else had their hand up here, but I'll comment while I see if that comes back around, is that I really recommend, if you do want to do this, that you take the Tribe course. And the reason I say that is not because we're an affiliate or the fact that I'm doing it for the 4th time, is because it takes you step by step on what type of membership. What are you going to deliver? How will you build your audience? What if you don't have an audience right now? What do you do about retention? What do you do about marketing? What do you do about resourcing? And every single module has a number of different lessons, each broken up into very bite-sized pieces. Resources, the bonuses are amazing. Things like, even what do I say when I reach out? So Fiona gave an example of going out to her audience. Stu is actually giving you the scripts for what to say in your emails, in your social media posts. So it's very, very thorough. It's so well put together. He is sort of top of his game when it comes to packaging a course so that it's incredibly valuable. And there's the community that goes alongside it. Plus, of course, there's the support that we'll be giving you because you're a member of her business. All righty. Esther is saying, do I need to have a private Facebook group for my members? So Amanda, you said you don't use Facebook. You use something else. Tell us about that. And then I'll come to the others. Yeah.
I don't use Facebook. I do have a Facebook page, which is one of my just marketing strategies, a lead source there. But because I have a very active forum as part of my membership where members post questions about legal issues that they're facing, and then we answer those questions, that is an incredibly valuable piece of my membership. And for a couple of reasons, I don't want that on Facebook, just in case Facebook decides to disappear with it. And we have years and years of guidance that I've given to members, and also that I want them interacting over on that platform with each other and with me, and to have a level of control over that to make sure that we can best help them inside what is the member portal altogether. So they'd be going to 2 different places if we use the Facebook group. So for me, it doesn't work for me, but I know for people like Fiona, it works really well having that group.
Right. And it's really about going where your people are and using what your people will use. Like inside of her business, we didn't used to have a Facebook group. We used to have an area on our website where members could log in and get the information they needed. But then we tried setting up, this was many, many years ago now, a group in LinkedIn, because we thought, well, we're a business organization. LinkedIn is more businessy. But it was crickets, because people aren't using LinkedIn all the time, not the way that they are Facebook. So for us, it's worked very, very well. What about you, Fiona and Belinda? Now, I know Fiona, Amanda indicated that, yes, you do use Facebook really well.
Yeah, we and it really works for us in terms of that's where our people are and that's where the interaction is. Absolutely.
And Belinda?
Yeah, I actually had a forum on my website because I was like, I don't want people going elsewhere. I don't want them on Facebook. I want them here. I want them on my website. But what
I want to control it.
Yes, that's right. And I found after a little while, people were like, oh, I don't want to have to log into the portal just to cruise with my new fam, right? And so people were like, I'm already on Facebook. Can we just have a group? So I was actively being asked for it, even though I had my grumpy cat face on. I was like, hi, I'll have a Facebook group. But it's awesome. And people are, as I said, people are already on Facebook. And I actually have a few members who have created profiles just for the membership. They actually don't do anything else.
Right. Yeah.
Because
we have that too.
Yeah, they're resistant to Facebook, and that is absolutely legit, and no judgment there, because it's a trap. And you click onto Facebook, and then all of a sudden 20 minutes is gone. You're like, what was I even here for? But the community aspects of having a Facebook group are really beneficial. So as you said, Susie, it's about going where your members are, and just wherever that is, because there are different platforms, making sure that you create an easy experience so that people can interact with each other. And what I love about my group is so many people have gone, I've met my business besties here. And they go offline, but it's helping people connect with each other and become friends. And that's how you boost retention as well.
The lovely Kay Ewer is asking whether you've all done Tribe. And I think it's yay, right? Yeah. So that's yes. All speaking from very much from experience of having done the Tribe program a number of years ago now. We do have another question, and then we're going to actually talk a little more about how each of these members is approaching the next time they open the doors to their membership. But before we do that, we do have a question that I'll explain a little more. I'll give you a bit of background. This is Anne-Marie Wilshire, and she has a business called Vibrant Voices. And so she helps women literally with their voice, presenting, teaching, having a better sounding voice, articulating better, being more powerful, present, getting their messaging right. And so she's saying, and she's asking a question which you may not have personal experience on, but you can, I'm sure you'll definitely have opinions, which is, how do you have a membership when your service focuses on personal feedback and bespoke coaching that is different for each person? I certainly have some thoughts, but who would like to start us off on this one? Fiona and Belinda. Okay.
Again, that was a little bit of a barrier for us, because each person who we work with from a style perspective is completely different. And we were thinking, well, how do we provide content, or how do we nurture or connect or work with people online when things will vary so much? So we do a lot of general stuff as well, but we do have what we've got called Dial a Stylist. So we do give personal feedback. We've got some parameters around that, because obviously for some things, if you go too in depth, it turns into more of a one-on-one coaching type scenario or styling session. So, but there are definitely ways to do that. And I think I know that Belinda was saying about group coaching calls and things like that. And I know, in our mastermind, we've got hot seats. So we can actually provide that one-to-one feedback that then everyone else can learn from as well. Won't be exactly the same for them, but it will give them really great tips around a particular issue that they might have.
Very, very good. Belinda, you had something as well.
Yeah, I was hot seats are the way I do it. So I have group coaching calls that lets me collect questions, answer directly, but with general advice that everyone else can use. And then for me, I do copywriting reviews, which is very individual. But the tips I give in one review will help many members. So when COVID hit, I did hot seats all month long, because it was a very stressful time. And even though people think, for me, it's a little different to the styling thing, but people will think this is very individual to me, but there will be lots of other people who are in exactly the same situation. So one-on-one conversation, but group publishing is the way that you can really build that connection and sharing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I echo that. Hot seats, any opportunity where you can take an example, go behind the scenes, a lot of the people are going to learn from. And then if there is some more personalized, I just, keep going up at the end of my sentences, or whatever it is that they're trying to fix, you're going to have some basic knowledge, Anne-Marie, on how to fix that, right? Without having that person have to do it. And you might do a drill yourself. You might do a drill with one person, or you may have some other services. And so Fiona still does some one-on-one services, but they're higher paid, right? So the one-to-many is usually going to be the more affordable, more people served at a less intimate rate. But that doesn't mean that we can't. We've got a high-level mastermind where I work far more deeply with people. We have mentoring for people who want an adjunct to their membership, where they do want that one-on-one mentoring. So there's just the way that you structure it so that you are helping as many people with the more generic, little more hands-off approach, and then you have the more intimate opportunities as well. Alrighty, Fiona, tell us what is coming up with Super Stylers. What's happening?
Oh, well, Super Stylers is actually launching on the 18th of May. We're really excited. So that is the end of our current style transformation round. So we'll be opening it up to our current style transformers and then also to our audience as well. So we're really excited to open it up again. And just looking forward to welcoming a new cohort through this round.
Right. So we're going to be posting a link to how people can get on the wait list, which means you can be the first to know when Fiona does open the doors, that's coming up. And so if one of my team could go ahead and post that below, that would be great. Now, in the meantime, I do recommend that you join the 35 plus Where to Shop free Facebook group, because you will also then be first in line to know when that opens up. Plus, if you want to go ahead and do your colors, or you want to better understand your body architecture or some of the other services that are available as online services right now, you can get access to those, and then you're going to be on your way. You're going to be ready to then have the ongoing support that Super Stylers provides. So we're going to be putting that link there. Now, Belinda, you are, I think Belinda's next here. Yes, you are very close to making yourself available to support more copywriters, like really soon, right? Like in a day, in 16 hours and 24 minutes and 18 seconds.
That's exactly right. Thursday US time, I'm opening up. So I do one big kind of public launch where I open up once a year, and then I actually do flash launches when my course finishes or to people on my wait list. So now I'm in the big open hurrah, and I'm really excited. One of the things I love about this is I've been doing Ask a Member live streams just like this, inspired by you. And I'm doing some webinars, Path to Profit, how to have a 2K, a 5K, and a 10K month. And
Fantastic.
It's easy to look at big events like this and go, oh my God, there's so many spinning plates. But I have built up these different layers each time I launch. And for me, I'm always trying something new, and I'm excited for this one, especially because through the nurturing work I've done since the last launch, I've got people going, oh, I can't wait, let me in, which is amazing. That is a really amazing feeling.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I hope that you will join these women in becoming a graduate of the Tribe program. It is a total game changer when it comes to creating your membership. And in a moment, if you're sitting on the fence and you're thinking, I don't know, I have a question for you. So hang tight. Now, your membership, obviously, we've said is for people who are in Strata living. Tell us a little bit about how do we find out more? How can we get involved? Amanda.
Sure. So my next big public launch will be in September when I run the Shared Space Summit. It is the largest online gathering of strata property owners in the world, guys, in the world. We had our inaugural summit last year. It was amazing, more than 1,000 people attending the summit. So we're running Shared Space 2021, and I will open the membership doors then. So if you hit my website, then you can jump on the wait list to hear first about when the membership doors open, because like Belinda, there will be a couple of flash sales there to the wait list before September. And that's also a good way to stay in touch and tune into the podcast and get to know a little bit more about me.
Yeah, love it. Love a world first. And it was the first ever online summit for Strata that Amanda pioneered here in Australia, which we're very, very excited and proud of. And so that next one is coming up soon. And once again, the team has put the link to her website down here below. If you're watching the replay, just look down below. Everything is going to be there.
That picture is amazing. That red and that jacket.
That's it, babe.
I
wear that all the time.
She might have had her colours done by Fiona.
I am a super styler.
I'm a super styler too. So there are people who might be sitting on the fence right now thinking, I don't know, this Tribe thing, it's $2,000. What would you say to someone sitting on the fence, Fiona?
Do it. The thing is, like Belinda, I like to have a plan. I like to see how things are going to unfold. I need some steps or some guidance, and that is what Tribe provides. And it's in easy, consumable. I go back to it still. With this next launch, I'm still going back and refining, because each time you go through it, you're finessing and refining what you're doing, and especially around retention as well. And it's such a great supportive community, and especially within the Her Business. If you join through Her Business, that smaller community in there, again, who understand your business, that really helps as well.
And even though the course starts on Monday, you get lifetime access to it. And so that's what Fiona's saying. She still goes back. I still go back. I go back and go, oh, I need a script. I can't think. It's a blank page. I'll go back and pick something up from there. Or I'll go back and look at another module. For our fence sitters, Belinda, what would you say?
So what I love about Tribe, it is the blueprint you need. It's got every variation and every step. And what I did is I first took Tribe in 2017, and I was really focusing on what kind of membership, what kind of content, like what does it actually look like? And then as I got into 2018, I was like, oh, right, how do I launch this, which is the second chunk. And then as my membership's gone on the next year, I was like, oh, now we're going to look at retention. Okay. And then it was like growth. So all these chunks I've come back to as my membership has developed and grown. Stuff that when the first time I did the course, I was like, I'm not ready for retention. I got no one in there. But each time now I'm dipping back. I've actually just blitzed through the entire course on 1.5x speed. And I'm like, right, I'm looking at launching, I'm looking at conversion, I'm looking at retention. So the stuff that you're not ready for, you will be, and it's all there. It's everything you need.
Great. Thank you. And Amanda, is there anything you'd add?
Oh, look, +1 to all of the above. Definitely the dipping in and dipping out is something that I have gone back to when I changed my membership to a closed model and I ran a wait list. Then I went back and watched what Stu recommended about how to structure all of that. So incredible value there to be able to keep going back. Is it worth it? When people ask, is it worth it about Tribe? Absolutely, for all the reasons that have been said. Is it worth starting a membership? Absolutely. If I didn't start this 5 years ago, my life would be completely different. I might not even be a lawyer anymore because I'd be so fed up with that old-fashioned way of doing things. But because I made that decision years ago to start, I feel so excited every day about my business, and I'm constantly building something, working towards something. As I said, I can add on those component parts. And if I didn't have the membership to keep me alive and excited, then who knows where I would be. So even if you're going to think you're going to open and you'll have 2 or 3 members, I tell you what, it's not about those numbers. It's about just going on this adventure.
I absolutely echo all of that. Absolutely agree. I do want to, I'm going to come back to you. Oh, I don't know where you all went. Hold on just a sec. Don't go to me. Like today we've been talking to women who have had a membership for quite a while and have been growing it. Tomorrow we're talking to women who've just in that first year, they're just in the first 12 months. And I'm going to be asking them similar but different questions to see what are they experiencing just as they're putting their toe in the water of starting a membership. So you want to join us definitely for that tomorrow. Please help me thank these gorgeous women. I'm going to give you all a round of applause. You've been amazing. Thank you so much for sharing your stories. And thank you all for those of you who are watching who are saying wonderful, wonderful things. Thank you so much. It's been very inspiring. The cogs are turning, says Sarah. Looking forward to joining the communities of these amazing businesswomen. Great. So watch out for Sarah inside of your communities. Once again, Tribe is closing at 4:59 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time this Friday, the 7th of May. Then it's closed for a year. Can't get in, no back doors, no flash sales, nothing. So I encourage you to get in before we go, before it goes away. And if you've got any questions at all about the program, go ahead and pop them here below. We'll be watching and happy to come on back to you. Thank you, ladies. You're all rock stars. What awesome role models for her business. Absolutely fantastic webinar. Thank you all. Thank you all so much too. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Susie Daphnis. This is the gorgeous Fiona Keary, Amanda Farmer, Belinda Weaver. Thank you.